hello! Onto the skirt of the amazing camo bustle gown. The skirt's loosely based on Burda 7880 with some adaptations to bring it up to my size and to make the back drapery a little more similar to some of the fashion plates and books that I'm using for reference. Leave that there. Bothers it poo. It's meant to be on the fold or not. That's meant to be on the fold there. That way around. Any difference at all as far as that corner is concerned. We'll be piecing with the best of them. Right. Big 4 patterns make it really easy to shorten and lengthen the pattern. They give you a line to fold on that makes it nice and neat, which is what I'm doing because this dress is very long. Okay, chicken. The whole thing is 36 and a quarter. I'm just going to go to 44. So it's 36 to 44. So this was 8. And add 8 inches. Okay, 2 pieces. So that's 4 inches on each. 2 per seam, 2 per edge. 1, 2, 3, 4. I've got 3 pieces in all. And more of my box at the front. 2 inches per piece. Each piece has 2 seams, so each seam is an inch, including the front. Is that over by an inch? It's the skirt, doesn't matter that much. I know the purists would hate me for saying that, but really this is just a rough costume. So it's about an inch there. But we also want to add an inch on this side. I move it another inch. Not that much. Oh, came off the end, that's fine, don't care about that. After adjusting the pattern for size, it didn't quite fit on the width of fabric, so I just extended the lines of the pattern, created an extra piece, sewed it on. You see the corner skirt is all nice and neat. The thread has come out of the needle for no apparent reason. One of the downsides of adjusting the pattern length is sometimes the pieces don't come out quite the right length. so the edges don't quite butt together. My trick is to trim it on one side and then use that trimming on the opposite edge so that you make sure that your trimmings are even. So the hem's all finished. It took me about 2 hours, which isn't bad really. It's all hand felled, pretty pleased with that. The only way to get good at felling is to just do it. This is a really nice fabric to fell because it's nice and thick. It's overskirt time. I need to do the apron, which is the front bit of the overskirt. I'm just using a Burda pattern. It gives you a nice shape, although the bodice has got loads of detail features and I've used a nice period pattern. I want to line the apron bit. It needs to be something light. Rootled in my stash and found this lovely pink nylon. But this needs to be cut on the fold. This is too short. So, cunning hack, Victorian's piece, so can I. I also need to add some width to this because I'm wider than the largest pattern, because these patterns lie with their sizes. Well, they don't lie. Their sizing is different from clothing sizing. So I'm going to do a bit of a hack with this, which involves putting a seam down the middle. Right, what I'll do, I'll add 3 on the lining, because I've got this seam anyway. Add 3, try it. If I don't like it, I just re-seam it. And that's how you botch your pattern, boys and girls. Sorry, adapt a pattern. It's all a bit rough anyway. Bodices need to be precise because they need to fit. Skirts, the waistband needs to fit, and the shape needs to be right. The individual details of Victorian skirts are not nearly so precise. Okay, I've had a quick fiddle with that and I am going to leave it that way, which means I need to use the pattern in conjunction with this lining piece to cut out the main piece. Oh no, look, it just doesn't fit. Just doesn't fit. Several options. Chop an inch off, turn it the other way. Oh look. Mark. Maker's mark. I think I spotted that before I cut it out. Oh, that's annoying. That's the thing with this fabric, I would have got it cheap. So I've cut out the overskirt, the apron. Now, with the Burda pattern, it's attached to a yoke, which is attached to an extra waistband. Now, the thing is, waistbands is they widen your waist, so I'm wondering what real dresses did, which is why I've got Janet Arnold out to try and find some with the whole apron piece. And there's not that many, actually. There's this one, which I've actually worked with before. This is a day dress, and this, the whole thing, far as I can tell, just attached Petersham waistband. So that's how the back is attached to the main waistband. According to this pattern in Janet Arnold, which is 1887 to 9 day dress, everything is just attached to the skirt waistband, and there's a cunning little overlap with the bustle to cover up the gap at the back. What about this one? This one folds up in half to cover a wide skirt from the waistband. So that's a folded over waistband, but it's all Petersham waistband. That's for the bodice. So there are only one waistband. I know I'm going earlier now. That doesn't have an overskirt. That doesn't really have an overskirt. So the overskirt's kind of hooked onto. That one's got its own waistband, or is that the whole skirt? It's got a waistband. The trouble with Janet Arnold is she has to squish so much stuff into such a small. So that waistband has an overskirt, but that's much earlier. Sorry, the overskirt has a waistband, but much earlier. I don't really think the apron would be attached to the main skirt, though. Surely, underskirt waistband. space of 1 inch. I'm gonna have to do some more reading and come back to you because this is just... Okay, having failed to come to an answer with Janet Arnold, who, amazing though she is, obviously can only cover a certain number of dresses. I found this one, Costume in Detail, and they actually have quite a lot of dresses and they all seem to be attached to the waistband directly. Overskirts kind of disappear, and to be honest, a whole apron thing is a little bit first bustle, so I'm going to go with, I'm just making a, let's face it, it's a dress wrong. No one's going to go, oh, that's second bustle, that's first bustle. The bodice is second bustle, the rest is just a thing. And thus we compromise. So I'm going to go with this skirt separate with draped overskirt and gathered back drapery. It's very pretty, but it's all attached with a gap at the middle of the back. And just kind of the drapery is just going to hold it in place. So we're going to do that. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to attach it all to the same waistband. Wish me luck. Which probably means I don't need the yoky things that I've cut out. These. But better to have them and not use them than get to the stage where I want them and then not be able to use them. So according to the Janet Arnold day dress that I like to reference, you actually cut a slit, fold that over, and then the clever bit is you take a pleat here. These are so satisfying. Look at that. So satisfying. Well, I think it is anyway. And you've got this lovely pleat at the bottom and some dodgy hand sewing that nobody will ever see because it's going to be under the overskirt. Now I can put the waistband on. So imagine this is your waistband. With a modern dress, you would do your pleats, do your whatever. You would fold that over, fold it over, fold it over. So that's what, 4, 5, 6 layers? It's quite thick. What a lot of extant examples have, you've got a waistband there, which is something really thin quite often, and the skirt folded over and tacked to the edge. So it hangs right on the edge, which means so when you've got your pleats, so like that. And what this means is you can put the waistband on last. So if you've got loads of trim on the bottom of the skirt, which weighs the skirt down, the length changes, especially with all the hoops and stuff. So it's much easier to adjust the length at the top than trying to adjust the bottom, which is what we do. This is the first time I've done this the right way round. So this is all a bit experimental. So here's my skirt. Now I'm using Petersham waistband because this is a really heavy skirt. So what I did is I put the waistband on me, pinned the skirt roughly to the waistband, inside out actually, so it was easier. And then I got my long-suffering husband to adjust the height. So now, sew along here, sew that to that, then theoretically that will flop back, press it down, and I'll have a nice slim waistband. I'm now going to do teeny tiny whip stitches. Now I remember the name. I figure if they're teeny tiny, there'll be a lot more of them. Each little stitch will be taking less weight. Look. See? Pretty strong. Tiny little waistband. This folds over. Sometimes it's overcast. I'll probably overcast it. Or I might not. We'll see. I should do. I just thought I'd share with you the lovely, quiet Saturday morning sounds of the countryside. I can't shut the windows, it's too hot. But I'm on the waistband. We're on the home stretch. So it was all going really well. Lovely little stitches, really sweet. When I realised I'm getting to here, two things. Firstly, my pleats are the wrong way round. I think I want them pleating towards the back. And I also realised I need to pin the apron bit in and sew it at the same time, otherwise it just isn't going to work. I'm going to have to undo all my lovely little stitches, replete it, start again. First I'm going to have some lunch. It's a quick show of the draping. The overskirt's already on, already sewed on the band. So the way I drape it is I very much just fiddle with it, pin it into place and see what I think. I've kind of done this one once just to get the feel. The thing is, I need to remember with Victorian stuff is it's quite three-dimensional. We like a nice flat-fronted, but actually, so that's the front. It's just got a bit of shape to it. I've already done the other side, so that should hang. I don't know how you can see, this is a really difficult fabric to drape. Now the back is what I've done. I've got just literally a rectangle gathered it onto a band, which will then go like that, stitched on one side and hooked on the other, hopefully. It's me a bit of adjustment for waist size changes, so I'm just going to pin it on for now. So that needs to overlap. If you can see that, the overskirt overlap the apron. Her extant mentions that this edge is left raw, doesn't need to be sewed in. So that's all the sins at the back covered up, and then the side, gathered it up like I did the apron, fiddled with it a few times. I just want shape, and then put this train, which you probably can't see, goes away to the back and away to the floor. And I've had a play and I realised that what looks quite cool, got the corners of the back, put them together, see that? And this I just got to by experimenting, and then I pulled the centre just to get a nice sort of, great thing about this, I don't even need to hem the bottom, so that, and I literally, to make it a bit poofier, I could even bring in a bit more, pinning the bottom all together, and then literally that will get pinned, or it will get sewed, sewn. Ow. There. And suddenly, I've got this amazing cool drapery. Very Victorian, very second bustle. It's really easy. So all I need to do now is sew where those pins are, put some hooks on, hooks nose, and it'll be done. Got one thing left to do, which is one of those things that modern patterns never put in for Victorian outfits. That is to add pockets. Janet Arnold, the great and glorious Janet Arnold, has pockets. So there's a pocket slash there. Patterns for pockets here. Those are in 1890. Another one there. Pocket bag. There are pockets in Victorian dresses, okay? Going to Bertha Banner. She's got a little chart right at the back of how to do pockets. They're made of lining. Usually sufficient is left of them from the 2 yards supplied for the bodice. Well, I haven't got any left, so I'm going to use actually the outer stuff. So there's a nice shape here. So you effectively just fold a piece in half, cut a bit off, sew it down there, squish it, sew it the other way. So that is 7 by 12, so 14 by 12. I've got lots of scraps, so I'm hoping I've got a bit 14 by 12. Okay, so what I've done on the skirt is I've pinned the apron to the underskirt because the pocket actually goes at this point and this will actually be tucked in. I actually have to slash the fabric. So I've marked a pin where the pocket starts and it will be slashed down however wide the pocket is and sewn in. There's a clever bit. The clever bit is the Victorian pockets aren't just on there. Top will have a little tape sewed to the waistband so that all the weight of the stuff in the pocket is taken on the waistband, not on the fabric of the skirt. Really clever. I'll make it up and show you the finished article. Okay, here's the pockets. So pocket. Obviously the pretty is on the inside because that's the bit you see. So that's got to be sewed into a slash in the skirt and then it'll be done. Yay!